Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Freeman Files here on the J Free 906 podcast channel. Mike Owen, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well, trying to stay cool.
Yeah, I know. Me too, right? Oh man, it's pretty warm here, and I got the new day. I know, red, folks. Believe me, I'm going to do something about the color. Working on the new studio, and it happened to already be red. I haven't had a chance to change the color yet, so bear with me, please. We do have a special guest co-host running a little late, apparently. So he'll be here along very soon. That would be Mr. Kaleb Bench. He's supposed to be here with us tonight. But he was traveling today, so we'll see when he gets here. Also wanted to preview this, I'll talk about this a little bit here tonight. This is let me link this thing. I thought I had already done that. No, I did not. All right. Got a surprise yesterday from someone you all have probably come familiar with, and that would be this man right here, Jan Franke. Mr. Doctor, I should say, Dr. Jan Franke got a hold of me a while back, and he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to be in near this big, tall structure and doing some work out there. Maybe we can hook up and talk about it a little bit." And I said, "That would be awesome." Well, yesterday was the day he was there, and so we had an opportunity to sit down and have a little chat with Jan, and so it's 30 minutes long. It's over on the YouTube channel here. Check it out if you get a chance. I tell you what, he revealed some pretty cool stuff in there, and there will be more to come. So this is why I say, folks, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and click on that notification bell so you know when I have videos like this one coming out. Because it wasn't live. We are going to try to do something live, but it was good. And it was good because of him, not because of me.
Yes. And he had some things that Dr. Jan Franke, could not explain. And yes, he knows a lot of stuff if you've listened to him. And he was befuddled, clearly.
Yeah, the befuddled look on his face.
Yep, he sure did.
Yeah, and it all takes place right about in there, in that area, right about where the Queen's Chamber is, or King's Chamber. Queen's Chamber, actually, I think that one was. But anyway, yeah, check it out when you get a chance. Do it after you're done watching this show. There is a link for it down below in the description. If you need that, just click on that. It'll take you right to it. You don't have to search around or anything, but it was really a lot of fun. So, and thank you for those of you who piped up and said it was great and all that. Appreciate it very, very much. Actually do. All right. But tonight we are going to be talking about this show right here, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 7, Episode number 8, Rocket Men. And this was a good one. And when Kaleb gets here, we'll just bring him on. Hopefully he's okay. If you're talking about, let's see, I'm just looking at Gail posting here in the chat. Where are the other pyramids? If you're talking about the ones in Giza, they're in a picture. He couldn't see the one behind him. There's only could see two, but he's working in those. But he's going down to South America soon. So we'll be doing more from there as we go along. Folks, thank you for joining us here tonight. We really do appreciate it. So let's get started, shall we? This particular episode, number 8, Rocket Men, started off with the command center, and it was one of those times where we really look forward to seeing this man right here, Pete Kelsey. And Pete was there, and he had done this experiment where they took his slam scanner, his LiDAR slam scanner, and attached it to the front of the helicopter, Cameron's helicopter. We kind of remarked a little bit on this last week, talking about how, it's not a cheap piece of equipment to be duct taping on.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was wiggling around a bit too. That would have made me nervous.
Yeah, me too.
With the shots from under the helicopter, you could see it kind of wiggling around, all the vibrations from the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yikes. This was the idea behind it right here. And what they were doing was they were this experiment. They was trying to see if the drilling that was taking place up on the mesa, and you can see a couple of things happening in this picture here. The vertical drill rig up here working in the mesa while the helicopters flying over, and then a terrestrial laser scanner down in the triangle. And they were looking to see if the drilling is affecting anything to happen, the bubble to show up, anything high strangeness wise coming out of the, the mesa or anything like that. So that's why they were doing these experiments together while the drilling was going on. And lo and behold, they do get some different things. Now, what's the first thing you notice in this picture right here? What do you not see in this picture right here? Now, this is the terrestrial laser scanner that is located at the triangle. Normally, we would see something in this picture that we see quite often, but not here. Yep. That would be looking up. You don't see any evidence of the bubble. Right, Coach got it. No bubble. So
no bubble. So we know it's transient. We've talked about that.
Yes.
That it's not always there.
Not
so we can't always just assume that it's a constant structure.
Right. Yeah.
That would be way too consistent for this ranch.
If it was always there, it'd be a lot easier to find, right?
Yes, right. Yeah, the only consistent thing about the ranch is the inconsistency.
Yes, exactly. Which makes it very difficult. But the other thing about this particular was these 4 little blue markers right here. Okay. You do see the looks like the back of a truck or something right here. It's kind of interesting to see that show up in this picture. But yeah, so you see these 4 blue markers. Well, lo and behold, what those are the GPS markers for the terrestrial laser scanner that was on a tripod in the middle of the triangle. And for those of you who did not watch the episode last night, that is not a good thing to have 4 different locations for it to show up, because it never moved. They never picked it up and moved it until they turned it off. So,
and 80 feet difference between the top one and the bottom one is what he said.
Yeah, 80 feet. Again, seeing the GPS right in the middle would have been an anomaly at this point. Yes, it would have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. If the bubble was not there and there's no change in the GPS, then you're like, wow, not only did they turn that off, but they turned off whatever interferes with the GPS. Both couldn't happen at the same time, right? So another, pretty interesting thing happening with that. The other thing was, and this was hard for me to kind of grasp onto initially, because they were talking about, this is the, I believe this is the taken from the LiDAR, the SLAM scanner that was attached to the helicopter that Cameron was flying with Pete on board. But I believe this is actually the GPS on here.
Yeah, that's the location of the helicopter, the path of the helicopter.
Right, the path of the helicopter. And you can see the LiDAR image down below, in the green here, the dark green, you can see the image down here that it was producing, that the SLAM scanner was producing. And this would be the GPS marker for it. And you see this area right here where it appears as though the helicopter went up. And did they say about 100 feet? I think they said about 100 feet.
50 to 100, yep.
Yeah, 50 to 100 feet. And they said that the helicopter was keeping it on an even altitude. Moving GPS indicates movement in space-time, indicating a gravitational influence. P.S. Good day from regional north-south Australia. Yes, NSW Australia. Thank you. All right. I love it when we get when we find out. was something that Colin Jameson always says when we're doing the Curse of Oak Island stuff is let us know where you're from. It's really cool to catch that. Interesting to see where people are watching from. Yeah, New South Wales. Thank you. Yeah, NSW. I was like, wait a minute, North Southwest? That doesn't make sense. New South Wales. All right, so the helo had actually shown here on the GPS to have raised about 50 to 100 feet in altitude as it was flying a straight line. So again, we're looking at those anomalies that happen right there. I mean, this has almost become it's commonplace for it to happen anymore, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, the interesting part, though, is that it didn't seem to affect the scan of the ground.
That's true.
Even though the helicopter moved up, the ground underneath, you would have thought the ground underneath would have also translated up 50 to 100 feet as well, but it did not. So,
yeah, there are some other anomalies, and we know oftentimes. I mean, you see some of these little things over here happening. Is that or part of this is missing? Is that the mesa back there? Part of the mesa? I don't know. They didn't talk about it, so we're not exactly sure if it was even presented. But chances are it was, and it just had make the cut in the editor's cut of the show.
Yep.
But yeah, so 4 of the laser scanners, the terrestrial scanner, showing different locations, 80 feet apart from the bottom one to the top one, and then no bubbles showing up, and the helicopter showing a raise in altitude when in fact it never left. Or didn't. It was holding a pretty even keel all the way around. So let's see here. Let's go back here. Oh, hey, Kaleb Bench, how are you, sir? Uh-oh. Maybe he wasn't quite ready. I can take you back for a second. Oh, no, I don't hear you.
No audio.
No audio at all. We got a minute. We can hold up for you. Hopefully you didn't hurry back too much to try to get here in time. While he's working on that, we're going to show you this here real quick too. This is the another look at that same GPS tracking, and you can see how it was definitely changing as it was going along there. And that area, you can see this tent down here below. That is the triangle area. So there it goes once again and makes a change like that for sure.
Yep.
All right. So the bubble messes with instruments, not the platform they're on.
Yeah, the helicopter didn't actually change altitude that we know of.
Yeah, right. That we know of. What do you think, Kaleb? You might have it yet? Nope. All right, we'll keep going. All right, up on the top of the mesa, and I wanted to show too that this is one of those areas here. They were drilling, and I thought, man, did they move to a whole nother, a different hole here? Drilling. I thought, well, is this number 4? No, I actually think it is still number 3. But they were drilling over borehole number 2 again, trying to see if they could hit the anomaly. But they were very close to the edge. And again, there it is, a look at it right there where they were. And they were going through the spoils. They were at somewhere, let's see. They were trying to intersect the actual borehole 2, the actual borehole that they came up from the bottom of the mesa. They were trying to intersect it. They expected to hit about 55 to 85 feet down. And so here's a shot of them going through. Oh, can you hear us at all, Kaleb? Oh, I hear something. Kaleb? He's still working on it. He can't hear us, apparently. All right. So this is the drill splashing the spoils around. And there's Kaleb there. He's working over there with Chris Roberts, and they're going through the sifter, looking for larger pieces of anything, whether that would be something like the pieces of ceramic or anything like that. Yeah, the video looked great. We just couldn't hear him, and he couldn't hear us either. Now, these mounds over here, remember when Pete was with us last week and Pete had said something about all the mounds that they were going through? I tell you honestly, this has got to be one of the toughest ways to go through this stuff. They're basically hand sifting their way through all of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep looking at my phone. I'm waiting to see if Kaleb sent me a message here or something. But yeah, so they were going through these spoil. Oh, he's back. Let's see if it works now. Kaleb, can you hear us? We hear you.
We can hear you. We hear you.
Yeah, he can't hear us. Okay. We hear him okay, but yeah.
Might have to switch to his phone or something.
Yeah, maybe so.
Always something. Skinwalkered.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We just can't. You just can't hear us.
This is beyond frustrating.
Go down to your. Bear with us a moment, folks, because I really want to try to help him here and get this solved.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, you can hear it now?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I can hear myself coming through there. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How about you
Welcome.
guys?
We're good.
Glad you could make it.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little late.
Yeah. Oh, no. That's never a problem at all. I was just saying earlier that I know you were traveling, so I hope you didn't have to, I know you're not going to break the law, so we're getting there, but I was hoping you wouldn't, just think you had to rush to get here on time because I know you were traveling. So, but thank you for showing up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I had a little picture I wanted to show because we kind of featured you last week on the we had to. I put you on the thumbnail last week because I mean, look, and this picture is going to cover all of us up here, but we'll still be able to hear you. But here, this one right here, that's you.
Oh yeah.
With the Tesla gun, and
How was that?
Look at that stance. I mean, you're just like put.
That was fun. That was a good night, and it hurt like hell.
Oh, did it
really?
I was going to ask about that.
So there ended up getting like a nick or something on the gun itself.
Yeah.
And you want to have the gun be in like perfect condition because when you start getting those little nicks and stuff, that can interrupt the current or create a new contact point, and it'll start bringing the current back towards you.
Oh.
And so I actually was wearing shoes that grounded me also to the ground. And at one point, the ground actually caught on fire from some of the current going through it.
Oh, wow.
Which was fun. But it was funny because that's actually one that we laugh at a lot because Travis was sitting over where he was at recording, and it was, we were supposed to go for like 30 or 40 seconds running the current through the gun. And it started arcing back on me, and I was like, all right, I'll be all right. Like, this isn't that bad. But as we kept going and doing it more and more, it started getting a little bit more current through it. And I was like, okay, this is starting to suck just a little bit.
Oh, no.
And so it was like towards one of the last ones. And I was like, okay, this is starting to hurt pretty good. I was like, this sucks. And I was like, and I let the trigger go. And I just hear Travis, come on, Kaleb, you gotta keep going. I was like, gosh, damn it.
You get over here and you shoot this thing instead. Let me film you.
I was like, and talking with Cameron and Travis, they were like, oh, dude, we've had so much fun with those, and we've shocked the hell out of ourselves with those so much. So
oh my gosh.
It was a fun time. That was a good night too.
I bet, and what were I'm just going back to look at my notes because I think that was 300,000 volts, I think. Is
30,000 volts.
Oh, 30,000 volts.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's nuts. And I thought about that. I thought, well, what if something goes wrong and you're somehow grounded and it just decides to run those volts through you? I know it's amps that kill, but a high enough voltage can do some damage,
Well, so think tasers too, right? So tasers, I think, actually go up way more past that, because what they're looking for is to basically flood the nervous system and lock you up, right? Yep. So I actually just went through this training like a couple weeks ago for the sheriff's department. So I remember some of the terms a little bit better because I don't really care. I just know it hurts and it locks people up.
Yeah.
And I honestly never use my taser to actually get people, because once it's done, they're back to normal, and it's the pain compliance. And so the only time I ever use a taser is I take out the prongs that actually shoot, and they're in cuffs, and I'm too tired to really fight to get them in my truck, and I just cattle prod them in.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I'm just tired and lazy at that point.
Little motivation.
Yeah.
Right. And I just cattle prod them in. So that's kind of more what that gun was like, was a little bit lower, so it just hurt.
Yeah. Have you been tased? I mean, do you guys have to do that to each other just to?
I'm in a place where it's optional, so I'm like, it looks like it sucks, and I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So
you should go.
Right. And I'm like, if I don't have to, I'm not going to, because I've seen what it does. I know what the capabilities are, and I don't just use it to use it,
Right. Yeah.
So anyways, that's me.
Good to know. Wow. But that's crazy about that, using that Tesla coil, because I wondered that very thing. And honestly, it's like the picture I showed there, it looks like that one is curling back at your head, towards your head. And I thought about that. I thought, man, does that ever come back around and, hurt somebody? And
I could actually watch it coming back and arcing back into the gun and hitting parts of my arm and stuff. So it was mostly just my arm. And the idea was I stick my arm out and try and get, because the current was supposed to go out, I think, about 3.5 feet.
Right.
Off of that little gun.
And you had a rod in the ground up there too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
And the idea was to get the current to go through the bubble and into the rod and see if we could measure anything that was going on there. In conjunction to the big one that was up on top of the tower.
Right.
So I actually haven't watched like the last 2 episodes, so I'm trying to remember. Because again, what I remember that night is it hurt. It was fun, but it started hurting towards the end. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what they showed, and
right. Yeah, and I know you have to be very careful about that too, and we don't want to be the ones to get you into trouble for that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what it showed. You at the southern boundary, and then there was the guy with Thomas up on the cherry picker. They were hitting the top of the one tower. And because they grounded that, and then it was showing the arcing. I mean, Eric had an awesome looking meta frame of all the arcs looking from the other side where the person was on the other side of it. Wow, that was this flower pattern that it made was fascinating.
And if I remember right, wasn't there one of the things that we found was looking at the Tesla tower, it should have been like a pretty good circular pattern all the way around, but there was an area where it was like none of the electricity was going, and we were going, that shouldn't happen. It should be an entire full picture. And so it was like there was an area that the electricity was not going through.
Right. And there was also a spot where it looked like it was lighting up something behind the coil, the spark, the lightning bolts, whatever you want to call them, the arcs. It was lighting up this weird area back there, and they were like, could this possibly be the anomaly that you're looking for? That was kind of lighting up back there. Don't know, but there's no way to prove that, but it was pretty odd looking the way that all worked out. So man, that meta frame is something else. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the meta frame is awesome. So once obviously, I think I've told you that, guys. Once the episode airs, we can talk a little bit more about stuff. So
Right. Yep.
This is also one of the nights that I got pretty mad at myself, because once we were done with the Tesla gun, I went over and grabbed. There are these little Psionics cameras, and so they're kind of like low light, and they record, but they have like 5 or 6 different settings. So you can do like a 5-second clip and then it takes a picture, 5-second clip, take a picture, or you can just do a full recording like a normal video. Anyways, I go in and I start watching above the triangle. You never know what you're going to see. And
Right.
This year, I don't know if they've shown it yet or not, but you've seen that 2 of our rockets, the cord's been cut in flight.
Yes.
Yep. We're still going, what the hell's doing that?
Right. And that's where we haven't seen any evidence of what's happening with that either, or what's causing it. They said, well,
we still don't know what did that. And so again, the idea is you never know what's going on above the ranch. So I take that Psionics to start recording, and I thought I caught some of the best UAP footage that we were going to have. And no, it was on that stupid Psionic was on a different setting. So I was just taking like photos, and I'm like, this is freaking worthless. And I was all excited. I was hoping our other camera guy was actually getting some of it too, because he come up next to me and watch. I was trying to put him on the same area of the sky. And I was like, holy crap, this is cool. Yelled for Travis, come over. He saw it and was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. And so we were all pretty excited. And then we find out that the stupid Psionics wasn't on record. It was on that stupid setting. But anyways, it was like these 3 dots in a triangle pattern were like flying and doing like these crazy rotational patterns right above the ranch.
Really?
And it could have been further out, but it was above the ranch in the skyline above the mesa. And I was like so excited until we went back, and I was like, God damn it.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Skinwalkered again.
Yeah, Skinwalkered again, right? But that is crazy. So they were 3 in a triangle pattern. Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean,
and it was definitely, I feel more like that was just my fault for not checking and make sure I was on the damn right setting. So yeah, that was like the up and down. It was cool with the Tesla gun and everything, and then I do that and then find out that I didn't get it.
Navy Dogs is asking, has anyone ever went to the top of the mesa to watch the rocket launches? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Previous seasons.
Oh yeah, we've had a lot of people do that. In fact, one of the seasons, I'll have to go back. I got some recordings of it when I was in the helicopter. And I joked that the ranch messes with Travis because the triangle from the right angle looks like an Alabama A.
Oh, really? Oh,
and he's a big Auburn fan.
Yeah.
And like, well, this is why the ranch messes with you, Travis, because it's an Alabama fan. But I actually have videos from in the helicopter of them shooting rockets off above the triangle down into the ranch.
Yeah. There was one where they were actually they were shooting them up from the triangle, and then Travis was on top of there shooting them straight out. Yeah.
Yep.
They came close to hitting one another at some point.
And that was the idea, is see if they could do it. But so yeah, we've been up on top of the mesa. We do generally have 1 or 2 individuals run up on top that generally our other security guy, Nate, the last couple of years, he's been doing it with some PAs or some of the other producers. They'll run up and just stand up there with cameras, and we'll also do long shots or long exposure type B-roll stuff from up top there. They'll go set cameras up and just watch. And then we have the ranch assets. One of the towers is right above the triangle up on top. So we have that one. So yeah, there's a lot of camera assets that we go through and hope to see that we see something.
And those are really cool for those folks in the Skinwalker Ranch Insider program that I'm a part of as well. Really cool to be able to watch, because I know that Eric puts up different views for us to, cameras at different times to watch the ranch. And that's really, 24/7 thing, folks. I mean, it's really, really cool. Skinwalker Ranch Insiders at skinwalker-ranch.com. Go there and check it out. It is a paid program, but it is an awesome thing to and you guys are on there sometimes. I know you're going to do a recap. Is that tonight? I don't
Tomorrow
know.
night.
Tomorrow night.
It's tomorrow
It's Thursday night, right? Yeah, that's right. You guys going to do every week, kind of do a little recap of the episode, which is really a lot of fun. And Eric's on there all the time building something and talking with everybody. A lot of fun. So if you get a chance, folks, check it out. It's a great program. All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay and you didn't get shocked up too much here to come and join us tonight. We appreciate it. We were just talking about up on top of the mesa where you were up there with Chris Roberts going through the spoils. And this was the borehole when you're on the edge, real close to the edge of the mesa wall right there to the edge, and drilling over borehole 2 that you were hoping to hit about 55 to 85 feet down. Looking for anything weird in the spoils there. And I was remarking about how this had to be painstaking. I mean, you got the sifter, but I mean, basically you're just using your twin optical scanners to see what you can find.
That process, hats off to Chris for being able to do that day in and day out, especially during his day job, because after about 3 or 4 hours, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good with this. I never want to do this again. But we go through pretty much all those piles.
And we notice in this picture, I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah.
A whole lot.
Yep. And you notice the water barrels. They have to take up water barrels on UTVs for Chris every day. To go through and do that. That's this is where we're going to get some of the humor and jokes side of it. So in Utah, there's this idea amongst college students who are still trying to be good little church members, that if you are doing things with your girlfriend and you're not, like, I don't know, being very enthusiastic, energetic with it, and you just sit there, they call it soaking.
Okay.
So I'll let the slower ones think about what I'm talking about here. And then another more even crazy part of this is if you have a friend come in and start shaking the bed. Because you're not the one doing it, right? So you're okay. And people from Utah hear this and they're like, what is going on here? And so the joke, so it's called soaking and shaking. And the joke is now, whenever we're doing stuff with Chris, he has the soaking and shaking stations because he's got his big shaker up there that we're dumping all these rocks in. And then he's got his barrels of water over there that he'll put the spoils in and let them soak overnight and remove as much dirt as possible and all that, so it's easier for him to go through and find different objects of interest. And so our joke is, Caleb's going to be over, or whoever is going to be over soaking and shaking with Chris. So I don't know how many times we made those jokes on camera, but I don't know. And so again, I haven't seen if any of that has made it into the show yet.
No, not as far as
which is disappointing because it's like there's no way that some of these conversations can't get put in there. And it's hilarious because our one department, our head of photography department, our head camera guy, he thinks it's the craziest, funniest dang thing in the world. When he found out about it, he was like, that is not a real thing. I was like, it's an absolute real thing. And so I was just like, welcome to Utah.
No, and that's when we need that blooper reel. We really need that blooper reel, or the funny side, behind the scenes look at what's going on during production. And they're always, well, we don't want to let any secrets out. Well, come on. But to have that blooper reel would be so funny. I remember years ago when we first started to cover this show, and we were talking about, I know that there was the head, that mannequin head that you guys would move around in different places. And there was one shot where it was in the window of Homestead 2, I think it was, when
Yeah.
and there's that head of that. I used to say it looked like that guy that the greatest spokesperson, salesman, the pitch guy. I can't remember his name right now, but it looked like his head, but yeah, doing little things like that. That would be awesome to see those.
Oh yeah. There's some really good ones that were like, man, I wish people could see this part of it a little bit more. So that's
show how real you guys are and having a good time with what you're doing.
Having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Craig, thank you very much. Craig did support the show there with whoops, let me click on that real quick. $10 for metal in the drill hole. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that very much, sir. Awesome of you to always be helping out. I appreciate it. What we've got now over here, it looks like one of you, and I guess it was Chris, actually found something. Colin, and you get Thomas to come over and have a look in there, and lo and behold, you got some metal pieces. Actually, we don't know a whole lot about these yet. They did do the XRF on these little metal pieces. You can see them right there. That one kind of looks like the Curse of Oak Island. It looks like Oak Island there a little bit. I thought, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Anyway, so kind of neat. They found those, showed them to the drill guys, AAA Drilling, to ask them about it. Hey, does this look like anything that could have come off of your actual drill teeth, the bit itself, anything like that? Nope. Nothing like that on our stuff. Kind of reminiscent of the metal pieces that were found a couple seasons ago coming out of that very borehole when it was made the attempt to break through the surface. Looked at that. There's another shot of those. But this one, I think they were smaller, obviously, but a lot thinner, weren't they? Than I think that the ones that you had.
They were the same thickness, but yeah, they were small pieces. And because when you look at that vertical drill, the way they're, I can't remember. I want to say they're called Kylers, or they're not Pilers. It's like a K name or C name or something, but it's held together basically by like friction. So when you turn the drill the one way to actually go down and start drilling, they unlock and start extending down. And then once it hits like the base of the initial Kyler, it locks into position.
Okay.
And then as you keep going down, the next one gets extended out. And so that's how they keep going down. And so there's a bunch of those inside. And obviously when metal is scraping on metal like that, you're going to get little flakes. And so during the entire time we're drilling, there were these tiny little specks of metal like floating around, kind of like little, and you'd see them in the dust, and it looked like kind of glitter floating around in the air. And then when they want to bring it back up, they turn it the other way, and that's when it unhooks, and they're able to winch it up with the cables.
Right.
And that's where we're going, okay, this doesn't look like any of that stuff coming off the drill. And that's when we took it over to them. And you could tell again through the patina and some of the other evidence that it was coming from the hole itself in that same area, and that's, again, we're still trying to be more careful with where we're placing this drill and trying to hit, as big of a pay dirt as we can, if you will.
Right.
And so, and then what people aren't seeing too is like one of the first times we had those guys come out, they could only be on site for like 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And so
that's not going to work much for Skinwalker Ranch. I mean, everybody says, I can
good luck.
Day. And it's like, it ain't going to be a day. Let me tell you.
Right. And so it took a lot more effort on getting them out for longer periods of time. And then they had to leave for like a month because they already had the other jobs lined up that they had to fulfill and then come back and spend some more time. Maybe it was a little bit longer than 2 days, but so we didn't really have them like the other drill company that was there the entire time, who basically gave us a drill for the summer and a crew to work it. Right. Because like last year, you guys aren't seeing the time that it really takes to drill for whatever reason in the Mesa when these guys are again coming in going, we should be able to drill this in like a week max.
Right.
You know, if not just a couple days, but for whatever reason, like last year, the one drill, all this stuff that broke, all the weird stuff that happened, that didn't even make it. It was, it's just frustrating. But, but then again, that's where we're going. Look at that's the gold. That's another gold mine, if you will, is all the information and all the data we're getting and that's where I'm going. I don't know what they've shown with the initial borehole. I've just been a lot more busy this last, so I haven't been able to watch as many of the shows or episodes. And because the first borehole, I don't think they even showed any of this, but we went down with cameras, and at certain depths, something interfered with the cameras. It happened every time at certain depths.
Yeah.
And it matched up with some of Jan's GPR data on potential depths of what could be in it. And then the different frequencies that we were getting with the antenna down inside the hole. So it's like shielded from what you would think it's shielded from any kind of radio signal from above ground or whatever, right?
Right.
But it was still picking up these different signals at those same depths. That the cameras were getting weird interference. Some cameras would just die at those depths. So it was just that's a lot of information going, why is this happening underground?
Right.
To the equipment.
Right.
So
we know that Jan's coming back, and we haven't seen it yet. But we know Jan is coming back with this coded sequencing. Yes. I had it written down, instrumentation, and he kind of explains on the little video that we did. I was talking about this earlier before you got here, that we had done a video. I did a video with Jan yesterday, released it this morning. And yes, folks, I know that my camera is going flashing red. I don't know why it's doing that. It's got to be this room that
my light just died too, so everybody's having
I don't know what's
Skinwalker
going on
problems
here, if it's Skinwalker Ranch that we're talking about doing it or what, but I'm sorry for that. I tried to make a couple adjustments. It hasn't really worked. But anyway, we were Jan and I were, he's in Cairo, Egypt, and he was at the hotel, and we did a little video with him, about 30 minutes long. It was really, really good. And he did talk about that particular piece of equipment and how it's supposed to work. Very, very well spoken he is, and he can say things and explain the stuff. So someone like I can even understand it. But in sort of talk, now we haven't seen this applied on the ranch yet. It's coming, I hope, soon. It looks like
it should be. It should be, because that there was a specific reason why he did that. With what we were seeing, and they did show that, so it should show. I would be surprised if they did not show it, but
he was in the teaser for next week.
He was. So I think that's where it's coming out. We're going to see more on that, so hopefully. And like I said, that's really an interesting thing that I can't wait to see because he went out there the first time, he didn't have that, ran the sled down through the pipe and was unable to use any of the data. It was just not good data. So he had to throw it all out. And that's why he came up with this code.
Which was throwing him, because he's going, what the heck's doing this?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And again,
inside rock. There shouldn't be any signals inside the rock.
Yeah.
That would overpower his GPR.
Yes. Yes.
And think about where sometimes it seems like something's turning it on when he's doing it, or so essentially this new one that he's bringing out, he described it as if, say, like you're going to a canyon, and we all have that echo, or you shout down the canyon and you hear your echo. So a lot of people yell like hello, right? A couple seconds and you'll hear hello come back to you in your own voice, right? That's what his GPR is doing. It's saying a lot of his more simple ones are saying hello. It goes out, hits whatever's on the ground, comes back as hello, but something else is saying hello too now. And so he went out and was like, all right, so I'm going to make one that's more complicated or more difficult to interrupt. Right. And so he's sending out like a sentence saying, hello, how are you? How's your day? Or something like that.
Right.
Right. He's sending out a full sentence now, not just a single word.
Right.
Like encryption.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the conversation is, are we being jammed? Are we, hopefully not raspberry, because everybody hates raspberry jam apparently on Spaceballs. But or maybe strawberry, I can't remember right now. But yeah, so are we being jammed? Are we, what's going on? Are we turning something on or off? We don't know. So yeah, it's all as important information as, say, us finding more ceramics.
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. I'm excited to see it. I can't wait till we actually get to see. Hopefully it all works well, and hopefully it works the way he planned it. I know, and you already know, you were there, but so we'll find out. Hopefully next week because they love to do this to us, where they show him put something, him doing an experiment, or maybe Pete Kelsey do an experiment, and then we don't see the results from that for a week or two down the road. It's like, come on, don't do that to it. So we'll see what comes of it.
I know why that's almost more real life too, though. Like sometimes we do have to wait. It's not like always the same day. Sometimes it was a lot quicker because Jan was still in the area and was able to go work on the data and get it to us pretty quick. Other times it is sometimes a week or two. So we're sitting here going, we don't know until, they come back with the information. And Pete, that's what was nice. Pete was there all year. So we were able to see his scans fairly quick. And work off of that a lot more especially with the crazy results from, over by Homestead too, that we've been getting this last year with the reflections and, the one looking like it's actual curving above and below ground.
Above and below the ground. Yeah. That was pretty wild. Yep.
Lots of really good stuff. And, it's, and I've been seeing a lot of comments this year, rinse and repeat. And it's like, that's what science is, but we're still getting new data, and that's more important, sometimes than anything else, because again, like we don't know what the heck this one little blue orb or light or whatever it is that keeps streaking over us the last 2 years. I don't think they've shown it, but one of the things I've been putting out there, and I've had this conversation for years with the team, just from what I've seen, I'm like, it's almost like a quick reaction or a defense mechanism to a point. Think, military or police or something. If something's going on, you send someone out to investigate it. And so if we're out here shooting rockets off and doing all these different experiments and we're actually getting close to something, aren't they going to say it's a defense mechanism? It's going to send up its little drones or whatever, right, and go see what we're doing.
Yep. Why not?
Just a theory, obviously, but it's just as good of an idea as anyone else has it.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
So
this particular one here, and I'm notorious for trying to find some of these things. This was the bag that the little metal pieces were in, and sometimes you can get a little bit more information. Flip it over. Skinwalker Ranch cores. I can't tell a core or whatever level, but the one thing I liked on there, and I couldn't see the other number, but it's the 70 feet. Okay, so that's the key right there for me, is 70 feet. So if you're down, okay, metal on the surface, you find little pieces of metal on the surface or somewhere else. But folks, metal pieces found 70 feet down, that shouldn't be. I mean, how in the heck are little metal pieces going to be found 70 feet down in a mesa, in a rock mesa, 70 feet down in limestone mesa?
Yeah.
I can't understand how that is possible. Right.
Yeah. And so this was pretty much the conversation a lot last year of, okay, what we know is there's potential mining in the 1800s.
Yep. Okay.
We have found some other items over the years on the face of the mesa underneath rock, but I would say more surface area rock where something maybe fell off and kind of buried it that way. But then we come through and we're looking around, and we find it. We found what looked like blasting cord.
Oh, wow.
Like old blasting cord, not new stuff. But I'm reminded of any old Western where they're spooling out the wire.
Yeah.
Yep.
And go over and hit the little T box.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of wire. And then we have found other items that were, you know, like horseshoes and stuff that's old. That's, you know, 1800s or early 1900s in my mind of where this stuff's coming from.
Right.
And then that ties back into, we know that there were Buffalo Soldiers out here and the Irish Regiment of infantry dealing with the tribe and all that. And we know that some were Masonic members. And then there's the Masonic sign out here above the command center up on the mesa. So why? And it's, we've had individuals, archaeologists, other, I can't remember his name, but season 1, we had like a ancient sites expert come out, and he looked at it and was like, yeah, that's not fake, because you can tell from the symbol that someone had a pretty good hammer and chisel and was knocking this thing into the mesa.
Right.
And you can still see some of the little imprints from like the chisel.
Wow.
Because again, sandstone does rub pretty quickly through rain and through natural processes relatively. So that's why if you're going to do it, you're going to have to hit it pretty hard and really get a good indent, right?
Right.
And so there's that. And then stories of caves. And then obviously one of the theories is in the 1960s now, this is kind of where we're pretty much kind of putting the story together with what we found using AI and the pictures from last year.
Yeah. I remember that.
Going, okay. And we've known this for a couple of years of between 1964 and 1969, all those survey photos are just gone, or no one did surveys over the ranch in those years.
And so every year or every,
yeah. So there's probably, I think they said that there's a bunch from 1964 and prior into the 50s, maybe even to the 40s. And then after 1969, there's a bunch more too. But for whatever reason, those years, there's something missing.
Skipped, yeah.
Or taken out. Yeah, or someone went in and removed those from the record.
Right.
So one of the ideas is something maybe crashed into the mesa, or there was a cave there, and something was found, and they did come in and blow the mesa and bury what's ever in there. Yep. Maybe they left some, or maybe brought something in and left it in there, right? And that's where we are going, what if in the 60s and 70s, the owner of the property at that time has this happen, and the government comes in and goes, look, if you start digging in this area, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Meaning
maybe that's where that whole line of thought came from to begin with.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of where we kind of go more to that now, that they were warned or someone had some kind of agreement. And then when the original owner sold it maybe or moved away or whatever, and the new one comes in, he goes, look, if you start digging, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. That could very well be the start of that whole, that whole scare tactic,
the whole mythos or whatever around the ranch. Like bad things happen if you dig.
Right.
And then that's the thing, like just saw in comment, the 1964 nickel, again, going back to last year when Chris told us that's a common practice for archaeologists. When they do a site, they'll leave a coin at the bottom layer that they get to. So if someone else comes in later and does another one, they'll find that and go, okay, someone was here at this time. And that's not like a standard practice kind of thing. It's kind of like more of that unspoken habit that archaeologists do. Right.
I'd never heard of that before until Chris brought it up.
Right. And so it's, and so for us, you guys seeing us in real time going, why the hell, where's this nickel coming from? And then Chris sees it and goes, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This very well could be more evidence that there was some kind of a dig here with a professional archaeologist.
And why? What were they looking
and why
for?
exactly?
Well, we know that that metal was hit with the portable XRF handheld that Eric had, and came up with just a few of the regular metal types of metal pieces, iron, aluminum. But he did talk about the fact that there were going to be further tests were going to be taken. So send that metal off to wherever and get it looked at, by more elaborate means. So same as the metal that was found,
Years
a
ago,
couple
yeah.
seasons ago. Hopefully, find that. What is it? Trillium? European. Yep. And there was
tellurium or something like
something
that.
like that. Yeah, exactly. And those were found. So that was pretty interesting. So we'll see. Then, as they are closing on the last, 6 feet of I think they were at 84, they can go 90. They're on the last 6 feet of being able to finish this borehole, get down to where they needed to, and blew a hydraulic line and all that. So, yeah, couldn't continue. Going to have to fix it, get another line. So that kind of stopped that. So hopefully we'll see and get to, another 6 feet. Could there be the hit something that they really want to hit in that last 6 feet? Yeah, it's possible. So hopefully they'll get to finish that hole. We'll find out hopefully next week at what they do there. But I often had the question, I hope there weren't, and this was at the very beginning when the vertical drill rig came out there. And I was thinking, boy, I hope they don't just drill one and go, we didn't hit the anomaly. We're out of here. Drill several. And I'm glad that that's happening. I know that, like we talked about earlier, they had said something about, it's going to be the guys, I think AAA, the guy said, yeah, we can drill this one in a couple of good days.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there a week before they got the first one down. So, or at least it seemed that way to us on the show. Yeah. But we'd like to see that get the rest of the way in there. Once they are able to get that rig repaired and get going again. So let's take and jump over to the triangle. And this is where the night's experiment is going to take off with these guys from Lock Precision. Here's the guys there. You got Alan Isdale and Dave Barber in the team coming out from Lock Precision. They've been out there before. These are the guys that bring I was going to say real rockets. Travis has real rockets, and he's got, he carries them around in the back of his car all the time.
Pretty much.
But these guys are bringing some of the bigger ones and more sophisticated rockets than Travis normally would have there.
Yep.
On the show, on the ranch. So these guys are bringing out some of the bigger guns. And the idea is to capture that magnetic field anomaly that they're picking up somewhere, and they were talking about between 750 feet to 1,000 feet straight up in the middle of the triangle, above the triangle, in the bubble area. And if they could put something in, and I love the thing that was said by Eric. And I've always said, well, the rockets, people ask me all the time, why do they keep shooting dumb rockets? You get people complaining about that, in the comments to my podcast. Why do they keep shooting all these dumb rockets? And I said, well, look, if you're using something and this something is getting a reaction, then you're going to keep doing it. You're kicking the hornet's nest. You're getting some sort of a reaction, UAP showing up, or 1.6 gigs showing up, or 1.2, whatever. You're getting these reactions. You're going to keep doing that and try to record the reaction that you're getting, right? Yeah. That's what I said. But Eric did a new one. He said on here, and I wrote this down, rockets are one of the simplest and best tools to investigate this airspace.
Yep.
So there you go.
They're cheap, effective. You're hitting it right on the head. If you notice, again, we're not using just like one type of rocket, if you will. Mm-hmm. We're trying to put different payloads on with different equipment, trying to get different measurements. And obviously some of these rockets, the Kate rocket, that's like a $5,000 rocket.
Wow.
Kate itself, because Kate, I think itself is like 25 or 3,000. And then the rocket itself is like 2,000 between the motors and everything.
Wow.
They're a lot more intense. They're obviously way bigger. So we're using all sorts of different rocket stuff. And for that reason, we're getting a lot of data off of them. And this would be the other thing is we didn't realize, or I guess I should say Travis and Eric, mostly Travis, didn't realize how much data we probably would have been able to, if we had tracked all these rocket launches a little bit better.
Wow.
Recording everything, and then really tracking that, because we're sitting here going, with how many we've probably launched well over 1,000 rockets now.
I would imagine, yeah.
Easily. And if you're showing, say, 60 to 70% of these rockets are doing something they're not supposed to in their flight pattern, that's very significant.
Yeah.
And then that's
data.
Again where
it is.
That's data in and of
a
itself.
lot of data.
Yeah.
And then that goes to show again why like Alan and Dave are coming out with their team, because they're going, no. In one of the conversations, Dave still is flabbergasted because I don't know how many rockets those guys shoot every year. They're always doing shows. They're always doing stuff. This is what they do. Like their day job is to go shoot rockets, right?
Right.
And they're going, right. And so they can see what's happening, and they're going, what the hell? They'll go and they'll say multiple times that some of these new rockets that they
he froze.
supposed to.
Oh, there he is. Oh, we heard something. Oh, it looks like you're breaking. Oh, you're back now.
You hung up for just a second.
Some of these rockets, and then you froze.
Oh, so some of these rockets, they're going out and using those and testing those rockets in other locations across the country, and they're not doing anything weird. And then they come out here, and this rocket goes up and goes like this.
Yeah.
And it's like they could go shoot these rockets 1,000 times in other locations, and 1,000 out of 1,000 rockets will do what it's supposed to.
Right.
They might have 5 where the chute doesn't come out the right way and it gets tangled up or something, pretty much a minor mishap or something.
Right.
They've never had a rocket motor deflagrate from the side. They've never had a rocket's cord, 500-pound cord, get cut multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times.
Midair, not burned, not. I don't even like using the word cut, because it
was just like it was so forced, it was just ripped apart. Because you didn't see the cut marks. It was just
that doesn't even
500-pound test.
Yeah, it doesn't, and it's not even correct saying that it was like pulled apart. Because we had that conversation where, like, if you get those cords and you go and pull them, you see that stretch in the rope and those fibers.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
No, it's like it just came apart.
Is it like something got shot through it?
I wouldn't even say that either. Because there was like no damage, no external type of damage that you could attribute to any kind of cause, right? Like we went over and cut a cord and compared them.
Right.
It didn't fit.
Yeah. So what in the heck is causing that? Yeah. Alan, Jay, and Travis shot dozens of rockets here in Alabama one weekend. Not a single misfire or malfunction. That's from Michelle Stratton.
Yeah, and if we shoot 12 rockets on the ranch, especially in the triangle, half of them are going to do something.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Weird.
I mean, we see it all
if not 10 out of 12.
Right. You're expecting it to launch and go off in a different direction or whatever. And that's kind of what happens. That you hear a little bit too. And I mean, I'm just going to go through some of these pictures I got real quick while we're talking. But again, this is that anomaly area that they're trying to, get another look at. They've already determined something about 750 feet. Let's see if we can, 750 feet. Let's see if we can get some more data on this. So that's what they're after. Here's some of these. This is one of them that has a camera. It has 2 GoPros on it, one looking up, one looking down. That's awesome, right? Can't wait for that. And then these ones over here on the ground, these guys come with the really, really, really nice toys. Mm-hmm. And like you said, they've shot these all over the place. They know what they're doing. Yeah. They're not rookies at this, And
a lot of those rockets, this is a good one. This picture right here is a really good one. But those previous rockets, those are kind of the ones we call dailies, where we're shooting those types of rockets off every day. Those little ones right there, not hard to build, fairly cheap. We shoot tons of those every day. At least, maybe 3 or 4 a day. Some days. you know, because a lot of times we're doing stuff with the rockets, but these 3 rockets right here are really important, especially the one laying on the table with all those weird cans around
We
the
never
base.
got to see that one launch. I don't know what that was all about. We never got to see that one.
Oh, really? Because that one was probably one of the more important rockets.
Or did it? I don't know. Do you remember seeing that one go off? I remember watching him carry it out. I might even have a picture of him walking out there carrying it, and yet we never got to see it launch.
So that rocket, why it has all those I guess cylinders on the base, that is specifically built to where if you want a rocket to go straight up in the air, that's the rocket to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That thing is like over designed to be stabilized, essentially, to where it's not wind cocking, it's not doing any of this other stuff. That thing is going to shoot straight up.
Wow.
That one probably had one of the craziest flight patterns we shot that night.
Oh man, I hope they show us. I mean, I would really love to see that.
And Dave and Jay, all the rocket guys were going, you have got to be shitting me. Like, that was the rocket that if they had any doubt in their mind whatsoever, that was the rocket that erased all doubt that there was something going on in that airspace.
Wow. That's interesting to know. Yeah, flying 6-pack. I know. I saw that.
Yeah, right.
So I was thinking like a beer cans on it,
yeah.
But and then you got the one with all these LED lights wrapped around it. That was we got to see that one, and the one with the copper wire wrapped all around it and set up, and that one we got to see launch as well. So we saw these two, but not this one. And the red one with the cameras on it, looking up and looking down. Was that the wobbly one? Maybe but it didn't look like that. We got a couple shots here coming up that
I don't think I remember seeing that one.
I don't remember seeing them launch that one at all, unless it was just caught in flight but not put it on the rack, on the.
I'd have to go again. I haven't seen the episode, so I don't know what exactly what they really showed.
There's you guys putting down the high-speed cameras so you can get everything set up with that. And these are, again, some of the amazing stuff. I'm glad you're using these different things like this, high-speed cameras and things and the infrareds and all this kind of stuff, because it's helping you to capture things in, frame by frame. You can really get a good look at stuff. And I'm happy that these are part of your daily rocket launching almost nowadays. It seems like to us anyway.
Yeah. Well, we do. Anytime we shoot rockets, we are using high-speed cameras from multiple angles.
Good.
Trying to catch anything that happens with the rocket or potential objects near the rocket in the air, right? The trouble always is, though, is where that rocket actually goes and where those cameras are facing aren't exactly the same.
Same place sometimes.
Yeah. And so, again, though, we do have just crazy amounts of camera assets. We're trying to cover everything
as best you can. Yeah,
as much as we can. And that's again where Eric's metaframe, especially off the South Tower this year, came really in handy with being able to track things and timestamp and go back and match things up.
Yeah, that is really, really cool. I grabbed this picture here just because it has the blinking lights and stuff on it. These ones that went up first did not have any electronics inside. They did have the blinking lights and whatnot, so they can find them when they come down, because sometimes they don't come down where expected, and we'll talk about that a little more as we go along. This was the wobbly one that went off. That was, I think, that was one of these that you see right here, just the standard, like he said, everyday, like Kaleb said, everyday rockets. It went up and it wobbled. You can see the path there in the smoke. It was even worse than that as it went up, but it was. Because the wind is starting to play with the smoke there a little bit, but that was a cool one. But it was also the one that had, again, the cord 500 pound, and I don't even know. They didn't even say on this it was 500 or more, but it ripped right out of the bulkhead there. Yeah,
and that's the thing is when you realize what these rockets are made out of, if something is pulling on that cord and cutting the cord or doing whatever it is, it should rip those rockets apart. If it's the cord, if that makes sense. If there's that much force on that rocket, those things will shred because they're like cardboard. I can literally take them and crush them.
Right. Right.
You
Wow.
can break them. You can break a fin pretty easy. They're sturdy, but they're not, bulletproof kind of stuff.
Right. I remember messing with them when I was a kid. I mean, but those were small little things that we were messing with.
And I want to say, so that red one too, that one was supposed to be a really good stabilized rocket too, because of how big the fins were. And they did that because of the video recorders on those.
Yeah.
They were
because those are going to throw off its trajectory to a degree anyway. I mean, it's got something along this outer skin of the rocket that shouldn't be there. It's going to mess with the airflow. But I'm glad they did it because the results were awesome.
Fantastic shots.
Yeah, really were. Now they got all this telemetry set up on these things so they can gauge where it's at, the altitude. I think I wrote down some of these, but you're looking at some different things that these electronics are able to pick up.
So I want to say those are the receivers for the Kate system, if I remember right. Those massive antennas.
Yep.
So it's giving real-time acceleration, speed of the rocket, height that it's hitting, all of that. So again, that system is very advanced, very useful in what we're trying to do out here.
Yeah, and it's good, and I'm so glad too. We saw these show up last year. I think it was last season they showed up for the first time, and seeing them still being utilized now. And so there's times where that just shut down. Kate system just I got nothing, absolutely nothing for whatever reason. It's decided not to. Something malfunctioned, as things often do at Skinwalker Ranch. And that's a crying shame when that sort of thing happens. Here, you get to launch this one. You get to push the button and do the countdown. That was pretty cool. Launching one off, and that one shot off pretty straight. It went up pretty well.
And I want to say, from looking at the exhaust on this one, what we were also doing is we were using like the sparkler engines.
It looked like it had that. I saw that.
It looked different.
Yeah.
And we were doing that because if anything's interrupting the propulsion, if you will, the exhaust, to see if there's any brakes or anything that we could see.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. This is the one that when it shot up and then the chute did deploy. And this one was good. And it, again, got that same thing where it kind of hung there just above the triangle as if it were sitting on top of the bubble itself.
Yeah.
And then slid down the side of it and ended up where the Kate system is saying it's 2,000 feet away. Now, what else do we know that is 2,000 feet away?
Well, this bubble that we...
Exactly.
Right.
Just like the bottles you threw out of the helicopter.
Yes.
Back when.
Yes. That bounced off of something and didn't end up where they were supposed to.
Yep. And that's where we're going. This is either it's there. This bubble is a real thing and it's actually there, or it's whatever's messing with us is just giving us, this amazing runaround. But yeah, it was when it said that we were like, this is nuts.
And there's a look at what we're talking about. This is what it seemed. Again, are you able to prove this is what happened? No, unfortunately, not at this point. But man, oh man, does it sure seem like this is what happened.
Well, and that's the thing is look at the line of data. If it's just gradually coming down, it's going to be like this gradual line on like a normal graph.
Right.
But you've got this crazy, it looks like it's, following the damn bubble.
Yeah, exactly. And I do have a picture of I think it's the GPS tracking from inside of the command center where Eric is, and he's watching. I think I've got a picture of it coming up here where you can see it. He's talking on the walkie-talkie, and of course, I'm always looking at the background. What's on his screens? What's on his desk? And then I saw this one. I'm going, oh, there's his telemetry of it right there, and you can see doing this. And it's like, we'll get there in a minute, but it's like, you'll see it, folks. It's so what Kaleb is saying here is that not only did it seem as though it was doing this, but the trajectory that the actual data matched it. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it makes it even more crazy. So again, and I've said this before on other podcasts, and Mike and I have talked about it frequently, but you've seen this bubble boundary with so many different types of technology now that I have to simply say it is there. Is it always there? No, it doesn't look like it is, but something is there.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's what we're trying to find out. And then this year we measured it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
You know, we actually the
wall too. Yeah.
And we kind of figured out that depending on the frequency you're using depends on the thickness that you're going to get.
Wow. Nice. See, this is that picture where I said it looked like you could see him carrying it out there.
Yeah.
But we never got to see it actually launch.
Yeah, that's too bad. Because if I remember right, that one did all sorts of weird stuff. And the Rocky guys were going, what the?
Here's the one with the cameras looking up and down. This was a really cool one. There's you can see, and they launched it at a little bit of an angle. Like another shot of it, and I'm assuming you can see it's off of. It's not straight up and down. Is that because of the wind? Is that what it's doing, or?
Yeah, a lot of times there is a lot of what we're trying to do is get these to go straight up, right? Mm-hmm. To go through the target area. So depending on the winds, we do try to weathercock them to the angle where they are going to go straight up or should go straight up.
Right. Should. Yep.
Because according to the scientists that do this all the time, when wind starts pushing on the rockets will actually turn into the wind. Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the crazy things is sometimes these do not turn into the wind at all.
Right.
Yeah, the wind should push on the fins at the bottom. So if it pushes the bottom of the rocket, it is going to go into the wind.
And it's the whole It's what stabilizes them, and that's why it will go straight up.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, supposed to anyway.
Yeah, exactly. According to science.
Yeah.
And again, that one rocket where it's the bottle of beer on the bottom of the rocket, that thing is supposed to be so damn stabilized that it goes straight.
Yeah.
There is no getting that thing to go anywhere else.
Except on Skinwalker
Ranch. It's out here.
Right.
Yeah, here's another shot. You can see how it's leaning over there, and you got these high-speed cameras. I'd be a little scared to have those high-speed cameras near something that's shooting off sparks and heat and fire and everything else. But, it's only money, right?
In the name of science.
In the name of science, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
So, and here it is going off. And again, the plume on this thing was fantastic. And it must be one of those sparkler ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
But off it goes. And, we get to see a nice shot of it. Unfortunately, when it was coming down, it did deploy a chute, but the chute never caught the air, never unraveled. And it kind of hit the ground pretty roughly. And unfortunately, they were able to save the data. The data was still, the GoPro is a good little unit. I got one myself. And they were able to take the chip out and get the data off from them that they needed, or the camera video, I should say, off from it that they needed. That was a good thing. So we'll get a look at that here. Matter of fact, that's kind of what I did tonight's thumbnail was all about, was that very scene that we got. So we jump over to nighttime. They're going to be shooting a few more rockets going off here. And this is the big one that I really enjoyed right here. This one is looking at some different, it's basically going to measure magnetic fields as it's going up. So this one was really crucial.
Yeah, that rocket was heavy for one.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah, because all that copper that was wound around.
Oh, yeah.
And they've been wanting to do that type of rocket for years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been wanting to do that for a long time.
I'm glad they got it because this was pretty stellar. There it is, getting set up. You can see the copper on it right there as they get this thing ready. Did they might have put a bigger motor in it, I think, or something to
so it had to be. It was a big boy rocket, and the motor was pretty. I can't remember the size of it, but it was a big rocket.
Right. And again, they want to get up to this area here. They want to be able to shoot it right through this anomaly, 750 to 1,000 feet, right through. You can see the little simulated rocket going up through there.
Yeah,
this is the area of interest right here. Is there really a magnetic field in this particular area straight above the triangle in this bubble area? So that was the idea behind doing this. There it is inside. They launch the rocket, and there it goes up, and there it comes down.
yeah,
yeah. What did Travis call it? A
lawn dart?
A lawn dart? Yeah,
pretty much. Well,
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say when we found that thing, it was impacted into the ground pretty good. So we
he had to literally yank it or pull it very hard to get it out.
Stupid thing out. And that was the one we were going, oh my hell, why did this shoot not go?
Right.
Because that was the one that we needed to get the data off of.
Yeah. Needed to shoot really bad.
Yeah, that one was pretty important. So for it to do that, we were like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah. The shoot popped out, it just never
it never
unfurled. Yeah. And then you also had this part of it jammed in the ground and it was so full of dirt.
Took a plug out.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, so that thing came down and hit hard. And we were hoping to do multiple launches with that particular rocket.
That was wow.
That was kind of one of the whole purposes of that night, was to shoot that rocket at least 3 or 4 times so we could compare the data on all the runs.
After all that work and everything. And look at that cord, folks. I mean, Kaleb just talked about the weight of this thing that was all that and the size of the motor that was in it. Man, that's not 50-pound test cord there.
No, that was like a 2,000-pound cord.
Yeah. And it didn't rip. It just never unfurled the chute, right?
Well, and that's, it was strung out. It was all it came out, but it never deployed the way it was supposed to. Right. And so, and that's the thing, is we check those rockets multiple times before they get launched to make sure they're packed right, to make sure that everything's, ready to go on those things.
Right. Yeah.
We Z-fold them. We do all sorts of craziness to make sure that those chutes and everything are doing what they're supposed to.
Right. And how many times do they not? I mean, quite often.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things where I'm looking at one of the comments down here. They're hitting on it. Yeah, it's a rare failure in rocketry. They do happen, but when you come to the ranch, it's not a rare thing. It's them on there every day. And we're going, what the hell? And again, there's one of the motors that did the deflagration from out to the side.
Yeah. Right.
It didn't do what it was supposed to going, and we sent that one back to the manufacturer and they're like, what did you do to this? This is like impossible.
We fired it at Skinwalker Ranch.
Right.
I mean, that was it.
They still have no idea how that happened.
That's crazy. It really, truly is. Yeah. But you know what? I mean, when you do get a nice, easy launch, that's data too. When you get one that actually works the way it's supposed to, that's part of the data as well.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Is like that's almost more the rare thing. Is the rocket actually does what it's supposed to out there?
Yeah,
right. Exactly. Here is the bright one, the one that had the LED ribbon wrapped all the way around it, so they could watch this one go up. So there it is. There, you can see it mounted right up there. It's on top of the tower. This one got, normally we don't see you putting them on top of the tower. This one, I guess they put a rail up here to be able to shoot them off on top. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that so we could use it as a launch rail, and then you have the cameras on the other tower that's able to hopefully track
right
a lot of the information, because those things are, I think, actually at like 28 feet, 28 to 30 feet. So the idea is we're able to put something right inside that 30-foot zone.
Right. Which is where the one anomaly, the blob anomaly was found. Yep.
Yep. And make sure that whatever we're trying to get up there actually gets there.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So.
Because it may not.
Yeah. We've seen that plenty of times.
So there it goes. It launches. Everything looked good on that one. And you did get a shoot on this one. It looked pretty good. And again, this is one of those times where we just don't understand the full editing that takes place because it looked like it was coming straight down, and then all of a sudden it starts going off course, like it's sliding down the side of a bubble boundary. You can see it. And that's why I grabbed this picture, because it looks like it is going off to the east, pretty rapidly there all of a sudden.
It took off pretty quick.
It did. Yeah, it was coming down, then all of a sudden it's like, whoop, there it goes off to the east. Like a big gust of wind grabbed it all of a sudden.
And that's where I'm trying to remember.
Something was pushing it or taking it.
I might be remembering another rocket too, where something was like a bunch of lights were next to one of the rockets. And we were going, what the hell is that?
Oh, I think that was last week. Maybe, and if I'm thinking of the one, because I know that you had spotted a UAP during some rocket launches. I think it was last week or the week before, but you had spotted one, and we're calling it out to everybody. And then there was no camera of it. I don't think it. Oh, and Travis said he saw something shoot right by real fast. Anyway, I mean, seeing a UAP on the ranch is almost common too nowadays.
Yeah, and that was the thing is, I'm sitting here going, I know we had one at night that something like went by it, and it happens every year. It seems like now.
Yep.
But that's where I remember those two big rockets were very important, and what happened to them and the data that we got we still got a lot of amazing data. And that was
sorry. Here's the one where it looks like, you're looking at the data, Metaframe. I believe this is Metaframe right here.
That's Metaframe.
And it's showing the trajectory of the rocket not coming down where it's supposed to. That's the one I was talking about there, where it's a little bit off target. And there's Eric. He's looking right at it going, yeah, this is not coming down straight.
Yeah.
It's kind of following along a boundary of some sort. Yeah. So,
and I want to say that was another thing with those two rockets is they were so big that with the conditions, they shouldn't have gone as far as what they did, when they deployed their chutes.
I think that was mentioned too.
They're heavy. Yeah. They said those are heavy. They should come straight down.
Right. Yeah, and that was the idea, especially that. So the one that the first one, with the copper coil on it, that did fall pretty close to us, relatively close. Probably it landed just a couple 100 feet from us, if that, in the one filled. So it kind of came down where we were hoping to, but again, it came apart, but the parachute itself didn't unfold and slow it down.
Right.
So it still slowed down because of it coming apart, but it was still so stinking heavy it came down like that.
Yep.
And then that other one, it wasn't a small one either, so it should have come down pretty close too. But for whatever reason, it went clear out there.
Well, that's the one that kind of gave me the question, and I actually wrote it down here as I was reviewing the show again. Is something trying to destroy the data? If it, when we get the rockets that simply go off to where it's, off in a different direction or whatever, but you see these ones with the ripped cords, You see these ones where the cord gets ripped out of the bulkhead. You see the ones where the parachute doesn't work and the thing lawn darts into the ground. Is something trying to destroy the act of getting the data versus just simply messing with you?
That is a conversation that we're going. Is it like a sabotage? Is it like the jokester, you know? Is it, that's been a legit question of, is something trying to interfere with us gathering data during the investigation over the last couple of years? But then, but the other side of that too is it kind of directing us in another direction sometimes, giving us data in another way?
Yeah.
And that, probably one of the better examples that we kind of talk about that is whenever we talk about the night with the periscopes, or I mean the telescopes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Where the whole point of that exercise was go out and track stars as they went through the airspace above the triangle and see if there's some kind of visual distortion.
Yeah. Which was a great idea. Another great experiment to try.
But then something removes the stars from a closed system on all those telescopes.
That didn't make. I mean, I know Travis says it makes no sense, but it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
Right. But then there's other data that we get that night.
Awesome. What in the crap? It makes no sense.
Right. Yeah, pretty much sums it all up. But then we go get other data that night that leads us down some other questions. But kind of ties to the theme with, like, say the lasers is a visual thing, but there was other stuff that had nothing to do with visuals that that led us down a whole different path. Because it was the data we really got.
Yeah.
So it's.
Well, that comes that question all the time. People ask, well, especially when, you start getting these signals, first it was 1.6 coming back at you, 1.2 coming back at you, 33 megahertz now coming back at you. 33 was actually the beacon frequency. And now all of a sudden it's coming back at you when nobody's transmitting it there locally. So you're wondering, and people ask the question, is it trying to communicate? Is something anomaly? Is the anomaly trying to communicate? And you just talked about the fact that maybe its way of communicating is to not give you the data you're looking for, but you said give you other data to try to lead you to communicate in some way. Or wow.
It's been the conundrum, the question, obviously with what we're seeing, we're going, okay, is this, again, we say this all the time, is this a near peer? Is this another organization or doing something and messing with us and showing a capability that then raises a question? If you have that kind of capability, why are you messing with a bunch of us out here in the middle of Eastern Utah?
Right.
Yeah.
If you have certain types of capabilities on the military standpoint, you don't want anyone to know you have them,
right,
until you've used full effect as long as you can with them. That's the whole point.
Yep.
So if it's not a near peer, who is it or what is it?
Yeah.
And then that's the thing is I couldn't tell you the nature or thought process of, say, a little green being running around or a little gray alien or whatever.
Right.
They're alien. That's the whole thing. Like we don't know what their thought process is, right?
Exactly.
Half the time we can't even tell the thought process on a bunch of humans right now.
Yes, I know, right? Very good point.
And so anyways, so we're trying to answer those questions, but at the same time, do we even have we're finding out we probably don't have the tool set yet to actually measure some of this stuff.
Right.
And again, I think this is actually one of the cool parts of the television show is like Metaframe. We had a specific need, and Eric, using the tools he had or has, he was able to kind of develop and put together a completely new program.
Right. Yep. Which is phenomenal, by the way.
Right.
Yes.
And that's been really cool, seeing the new technology and us trying, and Pete's lidars and terrestrial laser scanners being used for scientific experiments that they really weren't meant for that, but they fit that niche pretty well.
Yeah.
And
but look at the data it's getting, even the screwed up data and the corrupted data. It's all data.
Right.
It's all good stuff. Yeah. Showing something that's miles away from where it's supposed to be. It eliminated it from where it should be and put it miles away. What's causing that? Yeah.
And then another thing is thinking about camera systems. So having been doing this now and being on the ranch for so long, the level of cameras that we have at our disposal go back to the 90s to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
The Bigelow guys didn't have those assets.
Right.
And so they were doing what they could with what they had.
Like a closed circuit TV system or something going on.
Yeah. So like, it's just that disparity in what they were able to even bring to the table versus what we're bringing.
Right.
And that's the difference of 30 years. Right.
Yep.
And that was the thing is, who knows if they'd have had the tools that we had now, what they could have found.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've met, Kit Green and Hal Putoff. I met a couple of, we had the one come out last year, and they're all intelligent, obviously very smart in their fields, very knowledgeable. They're not dumb. They've probably been able to figure out a bunch of this stuff if they had the tool set.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Agreed.
And so I think that's important to know. But yeah, for whatever reason, it's just lining up right now that we're able to do that. And so,
yeah. Well, it's kind of interesting too. We talk about where you guys have come from. Now we've been talking about the show from the very start and watching the evolution of your technology that you're bringing to bear on this, or even something as, I almost said as simple as, but it's not, but also the drones from Sky Elements coming out there with the drones and doing formation flying. Would we, where did that come from? I mean, 15 years ago, we weren't looking at formation flying of drones, putting a show in the sky, and look what they're bringing up. So you guys have brought along in the last 7 seasons all this new technology, and you're getting closer and closer and closer to answers here. But also you're getting many, many, many more questions. But we've gone from when I remember Travis was talking about a mile up in the sky above the triangle. We're getting some kind of a reading up here. Something's happening above the triangle. Now to a bubble that's formed and looks like it goes underground as well as above ground. Look where we've come in all of this. I mean, it's crazy. It really is.
I love that you brought up Sky Elements, because I don't think you guys are really seeing, especially with what they did last year, people are not seeing the amount of data and how important it is on what Sky Elements is really bringing to the table now.
Pete said the same thing last week.
Yeah.
He said it's amazing.
Yeah. When people really understand what Sky Elements is now bringing, especially with do people really understand that they measured according to multiple flights a potential magnetic monopole?
I don't think
that's what is up there. If they're all those drone flights showed us.
Wow.
In that 700-foot
area. Yeah.
I know I'm not a scientist, but I know enough to go, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is. It truly is.
That's only theoretical as far as we know.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing so in my knowledge, my little put things together police brain, there's nothing in science that's purely hypothetical.
Right.
We can't do that.
Right.
Yep.
And Sky Elements, according to multiple drone flights of hundreds of drones, not the same drones, different drones, because they swap them out.
Yeah.
All measured it.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
In a way, I'm like, forget what's in the Mesa. Let's have an actual conversation.
Yeah, I know.
What we just found.
Yeah, and a lot of times we're asking the question of ourselves: are the two related? I mean, is the triangle anomaly the same or related to what's in under the Mesa? The thing that you're having so much trouble with, and how did you figure all this out? How did
Well, and that's
where did we ever come up with trying to drill in the mesa in the first place? I mean,
right? Well, and that was kind of the point, is people don't realize what Sky Elements just did.
Yeah.
With the program that they created based on what they were, because of what happened out here, specifically during Dronegeddon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all the information that came from that night.
Right.
Years ago now.
Right.
When you sitting in that room and listening to those conversations and processing and understanding what's going on and the amount of data that they're giving or able to give the team now, if any other scientific investigation had that kind of capability, in my mind, like, I'm trying to put this into good context and everything. So think about it this way. Most scientific investigations say they get like 10 years, right? They go out, they run their experiments the first 2 or 3 years, whatever, during their test phase. And then they have so many years to go through the data. They have so many years to go through and rerun the experiments and gather more data and compare and just break everything down. Like, we're doing this every year.
Yep.
We're getting more data. We're trying to repeat experiments to the best we can, but then at the same time, we're getting new information that's so mind-boggling. We're going, we have to go try this again.
You're right.
That just turns around and gives us more data.
Yeah.
And like I can tell you that I know this drives Eric absolutely bonkers, because he's not able to really process and sit down and do what he really wants to do.
Yeah.
But what Sky Elements is now giving, because of that, and how fast and how far that they've pushed their own systems and the updates, it's phenomenal. They literally have like thousands of different tabs that they can go into on all those drones and look at different data.
Wow.
They pull up their menu and they literally have these little menus that you go click on, and each one goes into another sub menu that is specifically giving certain data.
Right.
Whether it's airspeed, how that's affecting engines 1, 2, 3, and 4, how that's affecting its travel. Like it is so crazy the amount of data that they can go and pull from, because and then why that is important is because you don't know how minute, a little thing over here could change the result over here, right?
Right.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last week, and I tried to explain a little bit because I have FPV drones, and in order for those drones to fly the way they do, the sophistication they have is unbelievable, and they have basically what they call a black box. And it's really just recording onto a little SD card, but it's, like you said, it's recording the vibration of each motor, the RPMs of each motor. They've got accelerometers, barometers for altitude,
magnetometers.
Magnetometers. It's bristling with sensors for the drone to be able to fly the way that it does, and move in any direction, and the way that it will, if you want to do a fast turn, it'll slow down one motor, and basically the drone whips around itself. So it's not surprising that they have that much data, and what better way? I mean, it's basically designed to track all that information. So it's literally a flying sensor suite of different things. So what better to go up into the area and try and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And go back a couple episodes, and when we're pushing through the barrier by Homestead 2 and we measure the distance.
Yes. Yeah. Very good episode.
So we did that with a big swarm of 100 going in and out. And then we were very pointed of sending a pair. So you guys saw like 5 minutes of that. We were out there for like an hour and a half or 2 hours as 2 drones would go up, go through the barrier, do their flight, come back down, and the next 2 would go.
Okay.
Because the whole point of it was to be very precise on watching what those pairs of drones would do. Because if there was any variation between, say, flight 55 and flight 66,
right,
we'd see it. And that was, and then again, when you send 100 drones through, and then you start seeing things, and again, when you're looking straight up and you can see all 100 drones, and you have some that start doing this crazy spin, and almost run into other ones, that's pretty important.
Yeah,
because that means that something's happening to that drone and its signal.
Right.
And when you're getting 25 of them, when you're getting 25 of them doing that, what's doing that? So it's so much information, I'm sure, that didn't get into the show. And that's the sad thing is, like, I wish we had some more of the recordings of.
We only get a small portion of
watch.
Here's what we need. We need to have a live when you guys are going to do an experiment. It's going to be pretty much all day. Just go live and let us see it all. I mean, I would love to sit there and watch the whole thing.
Right.
I mean, I'm retired now, so I got the time. I know people got to go to work and whatnot, but I mean, I would watch the whole thing. And that's, whenever, as an insider, that's one of the drawbacks too of being an insider is when you guys start filming, the cameras are turned the other way. We don't get to see any of that stuff. Well, understandable, right? But I mean, I would watch it if you guys could be live all day on that. I would be right there watching it all day, or as much as I possibly could, because it's all fascinating. I think Thomas said at one time, he made the point, this was way back in the beginning, that we only see less than 1% of all the footage is taken.
Yeah.
And it's so much we don't get.
Yeah.
And so when people ask me the question, well, why didn't they do this? Or why didn't they do that? Probably did do this and that. It just didn't make the cut.
Well, yeah, we've had that conversation multiple times. I want to say, I think it was this year, maybe it was last year, but we actually had a group come. We had Pete come out. We had Bobby Valentine come out, and we were flying some drones, and they were doing some scans and stuff over the ranch, and we kind of set that, and we actually did a live experiment with the insiders the one night, dropping water in the triangle and trying to do some other stuff.
And I missed that one, of course. I was somewhere else and I missed it.
And we had and we got some good data out of that.
See?
And it was fun. It was an impromptu kind of thing too, but it was impromptu in the sense that we kind of figured out that we could do it over a couple of days, and we did it, but so was it as elegant? And it was, did we have as many cool camera angles? Probably not, but it was it gave a little taste of we could do something like that. And we've wanted to try and do something like that. But again,
it would work. It would sell.
Yeah.
It would really sell because people would want to see those things going on all the time.
And then at the same time, it's the authenticity of it. You guys are seeing it real time. And that's what happened. And it was fun. And you guys would see when we're sitting out there going, what the hell is that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
real time.
You'd have an audience for it. Believe me, it would be there. And that's why I wondered if the cameras ever go away and you guys are still working on this project, do it. Put it out there for the public. And I know Brandon would anyway. He loves to have people, be able to help participate in all this. And
then it also, this is the other thing is the basin. I don't think it's just a basin. Obviously, the basin is a hot spot in the ranches. But this is kind of the thing that I've been interested in too for a long time since growing up is, growing up in Idaho, I had stories of the Pilgrims, stories of the pioneers, I should say. Sorry. And like the lore, the crazy ghost stories in the area, because there's always tribal legends and there's crazy stuff that happens. So I know like certain areas up where I'm from, where you get there's a lot of caves because of lava tubes up there, and there's a lot of missing people cases. I never really thought about that until the last couple of years being involved in this realm now, and having the interaction with other individuals. That's kind of an intriguing subject to go down, right? So it's like there's a lot of stuff like that, and then there's missing people cases up in the Uinta Mountains up here. Obviously, you get the Spanish gold stuff out here. You get a lot of different stories, and just learning about some of this stuff even recently it's an interesting. There's a lot of information that we could go investigate, and it'd be fun. So.
Yep. Let's move on here because we're about ready to start into the analysis. I'm going to bring this up here. This is into command center, and this is the part where generally I get left with my mouth hanging open when I watch it. I always watch a show the first time just because I want to soak it all in. I don't want to be there trying to take notes and all that and miss something. So, and this is usually the part where we get the Eric showing us some of the data that's taken place. Now, this was the rocket that had the camera looking up and looking down.
Yep.
And as it took off, you get to see that massive launch plume right there.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, settles down a little bit. You can see how high it is there from the triangle, the ground. And then you get this right here.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of these sparks shooting off. I mean, as it's going, of course, you're seeing all these sparks flying off, but none of them shoot out like that. And how could they when they're being projected out straight out the bottom? How are you going to get one shooting off to the south like that? It doesn't make any sense. And as it goes, you can see it leave, and it's still like moving its way out of frame. Yeah. And even again, down here, it's like, what the heck is going on there? What would possibly cause that? And here's where it was circled to show us, you know what made me think of when I was going through this the second and third time and all of this, when last week, when Travis was, he had those two rockets, one kind of veered off to the right and the other one off to the left. So when these happened, he showed there was the high-speed camera caught the moment of, he called it kick, where he was doing that, motion where the tail got kicked over and it changed its trajectory.
Yeah.
And I looked at this, and what came to my mind was, did something try to do that to this rocket and it missed?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
And it went through the plume instead of hitting it and kicking it and missed.
You're seeing a consistency in the data with horizontal movement or horizontal force of some kind.
Right.
This is one.
Right.
You had the motor that blew out the side horizontally.
Yep.
You see how many of the rockets don't go straight because they're being hit horizontally,
right?
And forced in a little bit different direction. Even that's what I was asking earlier about the parachute cord. Did it look like it had some kind of an impact, or again, could something be deliberately trying to impact the rockets with something?
We had the one rocket that I want to say we have the high speed of it and everything, where it's going, and it literally looks like something hits it.
Oh, and it goes sideways.
And
it goes
pushes
horizontal. Yes.
And it's still trying to go up.
Yes.
But it's like kicking out and really starts doing this crazy maneuver.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the hell just happened to that rocket?
Yeah. We talked about that and showed that picture, very consistent, but it did in that one frame. It looked like it was going damn near horizontal.
Yeah.
And then still turned and went up again.
Yeah. So it was like something just hit it enough or pushed it or something. And I remember watching that one in obviously real time, and we were just like, what the freak? What the hell?
I can imagine some of the words that are used when you're in the command center that don't make the air when you're watching.
You guys will, if there's ever a bloopers and they're really showing the candid moments, like, we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, that was my take when I saw this. Obviously, Mike, you said the same thing. I don't know what else it could possibly be, but something definitely shot through that plume on a horizontal line and took some of the fire with it, and when it went through there, so it left me
reminds me
mouth hanging open.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, go ahead.
It reminds me of when Pete saw the little object when he was hanging out the helicopter in it, and that little object went flying.
Yeah,
underneath the helicopter when they were by Homestead too. Also,
Yep.
and so maybe it's not even maybe it's not deliberately trying to affect the rockets. Maybe it's just always happening. You just don't always see it.
Right. That could be too.
Which just makes me one of the conversations of like the one-off type stuff that happens on the ranch, and which is nuts. The consistency at which we get the one-off.
Yeah.
Yep. The other piece of information that we got from the command center and the analysis was the magnetic field, and here you see it as it's. I think this was actually before it launched. You saw it moving around a little bit as it was going up, and remember that actual launch is only a couple of seconds while it's going up. But you see here, and then it jumps up, and it jumps up again to it gets up to this maximum of 0.0273. And then it goes back to where it was. Now, they will vary a little bit, magnetic field, but not that much.
And I want to say they weren't expecting to really even get anything off of this. And so when we were able to see this, it was a big deal showing, again, like the timing, and we were able to show where this was at when that jumped up, and it was in that zone. Right,
exactly.
We were able to go through and with the timestamps of every frame and the data with the GPS and all that stuff. We were able to line it all up and show where it jumped up, and that was in that zone.
And exactly. And guess where it was? 750 feet.
Yep.
Which is where the start of the magnetic field anomaly is. Yeah, where the drone said it was.
Which is showing, okay, this wasn't just the drones and multiple flights of drones. This is now another data set coming from another entirely different tool set, if you will, showing the same type of data now.
It's showing you that right there.
Yep. Showing
right above the triangle. From 750 feet to roughly, they're saying 1,000, but somewhere in that zone, there's a magnetic field that's disrupting things up there.
And when you go back and look at some of the helicopter experiments now and the weird stuff that's happening with our communications, especially in that area, some of it almost makes a little bit more sense of why we're getting that weird interference.
Yep. Yeah, this is nuts. I mean, again, when you're able to capture basically the same result from different technologies, it means that it's really, really happening there. If it was just a one-off, like you said, okay.
Right.
But when you're catching it on multiple types of technology, and it's all giving you the same relative answer, you're like,
and I would bet that we go back and look at some of our other Kate rockets from the previous years.
Yes.
I bet we have other data sets where there's some kind of weird interference in the same zone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
I would put money on it.
Yeah. And who has the time? If Eric needs somebody to go back and look at some of that, I mean, you got about 1 million or so volunteers. They would love to do that.
Well, that is, there's been many conversations about the need for many interns.
Yeah. For sure.
Sitting down and doing a bunch of this stuff.
Well, I tell you, this is really interesting stuff. I can't wait. I mean, every time, and I know we got 14, 15 episodes this season. We just crossed number 8. So that means we're down to 6 more, 5 more, or, 6 or 7 more. I don't want this to end because I want to, I look at what you guys are achieving there and I'm like, man, this is nuts. I mean, I want to keep it going all the time.
Yeah.
Filming season probably drives you guys crazy, but
yeah,
man, oh man, I just can't get enough of it. I want answers to all this stuff.
And that's where it's the process, and it's kind of where we're at. because again, like we've been pretty open. You have science over here, and you got the filming side over here, and it's doing that a lot.
Yep, it happens on all the shows. Believe me, everyone that we talk about, we see the same thing happening over there. Not always is what's really happening on the ground the narrative that's going from the production company. But hey, if you didn't have the production company, we wouldn't have the show. We wouldn't even know what's going on. So you
it's you do what you can, and I will say that that's where the last couple of years has been. I think we've got a good team that tried to show things in a good light, and they're not making things up. Obviously we have our planning, and we're trying to do things to a schedule. But everything you guys are seeing us doing, it's all real time and in the moment.
Yeah. And that's why I give kudos also to the Insider program that I mentioned earlier, folks. The Insider program, we get a lot more of what's going on. Not only not so much during filming season, but when the episodes are airing, we get a lot more. The thing you're going to do, the Q&A you guys are going to do tomorrow night, we get a lot more stuff out of that. Brandon is very open about doing what he can to keep this out here. So kudos to the Insider program and for making that happen, because I know that's one of Brandon's passions. So really happy for that to be there. Last but not least, we see this weird looking UAP fly through the scene. That was pretty phenomenal. I don't know what that is. I mean, back when I used to do paranormal investigations, we used to call those rods, but they were not red; they were white. And this was captured, I think, with that little camera you were talking about, that little monocle thing that you're. I think it was.
It's our.
You named it a little while ago.
I know.
Thomas using one as he was looking up in there, and he was getting this because he was watching every launch, to get this. And here you go, you got this little shot of something passing through the scene there. So, another UAP. It's almost commonplace. Oh, look, there's another one. Look at
that. I know, and that's where it's like it's frustrating. I'm sure for some people, because we're like, whatever.
Yeah, right.
But I know psionics. Yes, thank you.
Psionics. Yes, there it is.
Yeah, we have the psionics, and that's what that was coming from. Because I went through and I found a video where we just got done filming the one night, and we had a really good bright UAP come across above the mesa and go across pretty much the entire ranch. And I was sitting there like recording it off my phone. We're talking about it, all that stuff. And it was not in the show. And I completely even forgot about it until one year I was just going through and going, oh yeah. Looking at stuff. I was, oh, what's this video? And so I was like, oh yeah, that's a whole UAP thing.
Yeah. That never got aired.
Yeah. And I know they recorded it. But because they were just like, well, great, it's another UAP.
Right.
Which we can identify them.
It's
fun, it's cool, but it's also great. Like
there's not a lot you can do with it.
There's not a lot of data outside of that.
Right. The visual. That's it. Or sometimes he gets it on those enhance where he embosses it. We can see a movement of different things, which is really, really cool. I like to see it, but like you said, there's not a lot of data to it other than the visual. So make of it what you will, I guess, from that.
And I think that's where when we're showing the UAP stuff, at least I hope now it's more, it's in conjunction with a bunch of other stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And a lot of other data. I'm going, this is another part of the data set that's important, is that the UAP was here.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't identify whatever this was.
Right. Well, I tell you what, it's time. Next time, we're going to take a quick look at what's coming up here. They're doing some more drilling. Hopefully getting down to the bottom of that 90 feet on that one, or maybe starting another one. But they do find more metal is found on the next one. We see that happening. And then we see some excitement going on. Pete is pointing at the roof of the Homestead 2, while Jim is flying the drone, and this is a thermal drone, and it's looking at what Pete describes as somebody. It's like somebody has a furnace going on inside there, and then you see running towards the building.
Okay, so that's actually Homestead 3.
Oh, is it Homestead 3? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we get to find out what in the heck. And I think the last little bit of audio we got was something's moving in there.
Yeah. So we were doing an experiment on Homestead 2.
We haven't seen it yet, so be careful. I don't want you to give up anything. Go ahead.
But this gets us into Homestead 3.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, well, we're can't wait. Honestly,
Yes.
I can't wait.
I will say the Homestead 3 stuff, it's pretty crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Homestead 3 decided to finally make an appearance.
Yeah.
Woo!
We don't see much
we've been
of it.
trying to get over there for years.
Really?
And this was kind of one of the stupid headbutt things. Well, how do we do it in story? We're here at Homestead 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Hello. That's all we need.
It's like in a book, new chapter.
Right.
Oh, completely new place.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll figure it out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's part of the Is Homestead 3 inside the bubble boundary or outside?
It's outside.
Outside. That's what I thought.
According to what we're
outside. Yes. Yeah, exactly. According to the data you have thus far.
Yeah. So that's where Homestead 3, a lot more questions. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Good.
And, something happened. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff. If they show the right stuff.
Well, we'll have to have you back if they don't.
If not, you can tell us.
Fill us in with what they didn't tell us.
Right.
That would be awesome.
So, yeah, a really crazy things happen. One really crazy thing happens when we're doing one of the experiments involving Homestead 3 and 2. So
nice. Well, there you go, folks. There's your teaser for coming up.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Yeah,
Stay tuned. Right? I know. I hate those words. Stay tuned. And if we did it live, you wouldn't have that. Anyway, Pete and I have been talking about some different stuff coming up, but so that'll be a lot of fun. Well, that's what we got for you here tonight, folks. I tell you what, don't forget, I talked about this earlier, the little video that we did, a 30-minute video that we did with Jan Franke, Dr. Jan Franke. He is in Cairo. I think he's still there. Cairo, Egypt. He's doing some work at the Great Pyramid. Some fantastic stuff. He reveals a couple of things in this little video. There's a link for it down below. I released it this morning, just recorded it yesterday with him while he's sitting there with the pyramids behind him. It was really, really cool. So, and the Egypt was playing in the soccer in the World Cup during this time. You could hear people screaming when they scored. It was so funny. But anyway, check it out. The link for it below. Check that out. You're going to have, it's really, that man is so, his brain works on another level, but when he explains things to you, he's very, very good at explaining it so that people like me can understand. So you'll catch that when you watch it. So go ahead.
He was wearing a green shirt one day. And we were flipping him some crap, the whole Canada versus USA stuff. And we're like,
okay,
great. And thank you for wearing a green shirt, Jan, because now we can give you an American shirt in the show. The green screen one in on him.
Oh, yes, the old green screen. Yeah, okay.
And he's like, wait, you guys can do that? And we're like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we can. Oh, goodness. Well, Kaleb, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know you were hustling to get here, and we had a little issue in the beginning, but thank you so very much.
Oh,
man.
you're welcome.
I just love it when you guys I'm so honored by the fact that you guys come, and Pete and Jan and everybody come out and join us on the show here. It's really, really cool. And Eric, he's been on here with us. He jumps in the chat quite often. Mm-hmm. But it's such an honor to have you guys do this. You're welcome anytime to come back. I hate asking all the time because I know sometimes it feels like, oh, there's Jeff bugging me to come on his show again. Good grief, but honestly, there's always a seat at this table for you. Just know that.
Thank you, Jeff. I always appreciate coming in and having the invite, and happy to come in. And it's great having conversation with you guys. So
looking forward to seeing you in a couple of months at Phenomicon. I know.
I need to get my contract back to Bridget so she don't hurt me.
I just got my answers back to late last night to make sure. I wanted to make sure everything is in order for me and Christina to be there. And she said, "Yep, you're all good. You got your okay, good. We're all set." So I'm going to be there as long as I can get my, physically travel there now. That's the only thing holding everything up. But
yeah,
maybe I'll bring the trailer again and stay at the campground. I love staying at Steinecker Park. It's such a lot of. I love it out there.
Yeah,
the night sky is so awesome. But anyway,
it's fun because the last couple of weeks I've been doing a lot more sheriff stuff Tuesday or Wednesday and Thursday nights. So the last couple of my times I've been able to jump on with the insiders on Thursday, I'm in my patrol truck sitting there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yep, I saw that a couple weeks ago. All right, folks, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate it very much. And as I've always saying on the show, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel and click on that notification bell so you know that we have new content coming out. You get informed right away. And also after the show is done, and I guess it takes a little bit, but you can hype the show as well. I appreciate it so very much if you could do that for us. It helps us get it out to as many people as possible. So tell a friend, and we'll catch you next time right here on the J Free 906 podcast. Good night, everybody. Hang around just a minute, Kaleb, before you head out.
Yep.
Good night, folks.